All right. I gotta turn that down. Hi guys, this is Alan. And I'm doing a thing again on targeted individuals, of which I am one. And it wasn't until 2016, 2015 that all the really weird stuff, the V2K and, well, voice to skull, I didn't know what it was even called at the time, but all that weird stuff really started to happen. And then when that started happening, and then the gang stalking, all that, then that came out, and it's like you realize something weird's going on, and you don't know what it is or what it's called. You just know people are acting strange, and somebody somehow seems to have put some kind of electronic cameras or microphones or something, either where you're living in the house, in the apartment, messing with your phones, messing with your computer. And the weird thing is, you can be the most peaceful, likable person, and your own little local hometown police, city hall will still do this to you. You don't have to be public enemy number one on anybody's shit list. For some people, maybe that has been the case. Whatever criteria is involved to put people on this list, except for the one that's just obvious, is that they just use people as guinea pigs, random guinea pigs, to get a selected, non-biased or whatever, and just to test out as guinea pigs everyday citizens. Now, this is in June of 2021 that I'm saying this, but what's been on the news lately is on CNN and Fox News, the two main ones, MSNBC also, is Havannah syndrome. C.I.A. and diplomats, United States diplomats, civilians, and people working for the Central Intelligence Agency going to foreign countries and complaining of directed energy weapons, microwave radiation, being bombarded with painful signals into their brain, causing massive headaches, ringing in the ears. And targeted individuals, we definitely know about that. Ringing in the ears, painful pulsations to the head, to the heart, to the side, different body parts, tingling, sharp, what feels like pinpricks, to the lower extremities, parts of the arms, legs, toes, even toes. And when you don't experience it, it just sounds too weird to be true. And you're like, when you explain this stuff, it is made in such a way, designed in such a way so that when you do talk about it, it is designed to make you sound dumb and nutty. That's the whole purpose of it, is to drive you through suffering, through so much pain that they can see the readouts on their scanners, at their computers, at the fusion center. And when I say the fusion center, the most popular belief is that this is done by law enforcement. And that's something after you've been inside the targeted individual program, you come to realize, is that somehow local law enforcement is involved. Because suddenly you start seeing cop cars and sirens, and then they start doing weird things, even if you have no record, if you have never hurt or no beef with any ever. Cop cars and officers will do this number to you, like they're looking at you, trying to scare you. Now, in my own case, I'm just from a little town in Oregon called Dallas, and I'm in Salem now, but I'd never had any problem. I mean, what little interactions I've had with it was never a problem with law enforcement. always kind of like a conservative, believe that they were good people, and there's always bad ones and people make mistakes, but by and large believing, well, they're good people. They wouldn't be involved, especially if you're from a conservative, small, conservative, religious Christian town that prides itself on this conservative, traditional, small government, whatever, this old-fashioned conservative Christian town. They wouldn't be a part of it. If they heard it, they would have been like, no, that is so evil that Dallas or all these other religious towns would not partake. It wouldn't even, I would have bet my entire year's paycheck that City Hall and the people of Dallas would not only be that they would worry about it getting out, but they wouldn't do it just because the shocking nature of torturing somebody while they're pretending to be a traditional Christian town, fundamentalist. They would have looked at it and just with abhorrence. Just, you would think they would. That all that talk of, drain the swamp. And this is, when it was done to me and to a lot of targeted individuals, this is done before and during the Trump administration, where a lot of these City Hall people were saying, drain the swamp. Take the corruption out of politics, out of City Hall, and especially out of Washington, D.C. Now, the idea of them in these smaller towns, and the United States, they're very proud of saying it's a Christian nation, which in its origin does have a lot of truth to it, but it's also got Unitarians, it's got some liberal aspects. But when you're raised evangelical, it's the idea that this is a religious, nation, and that there are some basic common sense things that they would not abide with. And the realization that they did come to this is beyond any understanding.